believe in Christianity or not, the history of the Catholic Church is that they are paganism and Luciferian worship. What are the origins of the Vatican and the Catholic Church? The Etruscans. The Etruscans were the ancient civilizations that were mysterious people, whose civilizations existed before the build of the Roman. The word Vatican comes from their Etruscan goddess Vatica, who is associated with birth in the underworld. It is believed that the Pope communicates with this deity because it's considered to be divine. Vatica was an inhabitant of the underworld and worshipped as a divine being. This was definitely Luciferian worship. This could possibly be where creation of hell may have come to existence. The Vatican is allegedly built on top of this underground, and is where it's believed that the Pope communicates with this deity. Inside of the Vatican, there is a ceremonial room that is built to look just like a serpent.
That's in the Vatican. That's the serpent cathedral.
That's dope.
Come on, man. That's a serpent. Look at the fangs. Look at the fangs and look at the eyes.
That is a serpent.
Come on.
Look at the tongue that comes out of the
Vatican's been pretending they're into Christ. They're not into Christ. They want to destroy Christ.
Oh, wait, that's supposed to be a snake?
They're trying to destroy Christ.
Oh, I see now.
You don't see the, look at that. Look at the fangs.
Give it up,
that's
bro.
the Vatican.
That
is
the inside of a...
How is that Jesus? How is that Jesus right there? Where's Jesus?
Is that the Vatican? That is the Vatican. That is a snake. You know what's the most amazing?
Even more mysterious is the sculpture inside the Vatican that they claim is in reference to Jesus being resurrected from a nuclear explosion. It looks more like the pits of hell and lost souls. Either way, it's disturbing and non-Christian-like. There's also a collection of human bones located inside of the Vatican and numerous of Catholic cathedrals around the world.
Something very real, aren't you?
Certo, realissima. Vi dico, se credete al Vangelo, credete all'esistenza del demonio.
Absolutely, very real.
As to the devil's presence in the Vatican, he says that's no surprise. He once had to perform an exorcism on another exorcist.
The first thing we need to do, if we're going to find out if the devil is at the Vatican, is take a tour underneath the Vatican. As we arrive underneath the Vatican, we see that it's laid out in a number of rooms marked by letters, as we can see in this aerial view map. Now we will be exploring some of the rooms in this map. Let's start off by looking in room C here. As we look in the room, we see that this is a mausoleum of a Lucius Tullius Zethus. The Vatican goes on and explains that this room was used for offerings to the dead. We read, view of the north wall and mosaic floor. In the corners of the mosaic floor there are 8 marble squares with circular holes through which offerings to the dead were poured during the funeral rites carried out in the burial chamber. So here we have a room where offerings are done to the dead. That's pretty common in Catholicism. Now if we look in the next room, room E, so here in this room they have a vase which has the image of a Medusa. So here underneath the Vatican we have a Medusa. Again, we ask ourselves the question, this is a vase, but yet it's kept underneath the Vatican. This could have easily been removed. If the Vatican was a holy church, you would think that they would have done this. You think underneath the Vatican they would have things that are sacred to Christ and not foreign gods, not idols and images of foreign gods.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum. Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
I always carry 2 things. Un rosario, rosary, un rosario para rezar, to pray, y una cosa que parece extraña. Something which seems odd. ¿Qué es esto? Y esto es la historia del fracaso de Dios. This here, in this item, is the history of God's failure.
This here, in this item, is the history of God's failure.
Truth is that the Vatican holds the power of the world's population and initiates world domination, which is a new world order.
We focus on the murders, we focus on the drugs, we focusing on coronavirus, we focusing on the 13 families, the Illuminati, Bilderberger groups, Boule. We focusing on what rappers sold, what actors sold. We be focused on everybody else. Meanwhile, this little Vatican sitting off in the cut with all the power, pulling all the strings. And they're not pulling the strings from a physical sense. They're tapping into fallen angels. It's ran by fallen angels. That's who they praise to, and they use the whole realm as a magic wand to use our energy to manifest what they want to happen. Remember this, y'all. Whatever we believe, we manifest. We the ancient ones. We the ancient beings. So our oppressors who are using light magic, they don't have any power over us other than our belief in their lies.
Watch this right here, coming up right after this. Giving a statement. Pope walks up to the window. Look right back here. Something. Do you see that little black thing come up? And then watch. Gives his blessing and poof, he's gone. Did you see that? Okay, let me show you this right here. I took a screen capture of it so we can slow it down and watch that last little bit here. All right, so let's go back to where he first appears. Right there. I'm going to go frame by frame here. You can see they're opening the door. There's his head coming up. He's going up on the steps or whatever they have behind there. Steps up a second one. And then see that right there? This little black thing that's whatever that is happening behind him kind of comes out right there. And then he kind of moves in front of it a little bit. And then he gives his blessing. And he turns around to go. I'm going to go one frame at a time here. Lets his hand out the window. Slowly moves away. Did you see that? Let me do it again. And okay, I want to show you something. So first frame right there. So he's there. Next frame, he's at 50% opacity. And then the next frame, click, he's gone. I don't know if you guys can see this because of the video bit rate that I stream at, but there's still the outline, like darker than the rest of the room around it. There's still this black spot where he used to, whatever it was that we were looking at, where that used to occupy the space. And then a couple more frames and it blends in and then they mix the shot. I don't think for a second that this news agency is pulling a CGI prank on us. I've said many times that the world is a much stranger place than I think most of us realize. And of course, we have all this Q stuff going on and the child pedophilia stuff, and it all supposedly ties into the Vatican. Was that a hologram? Is he dead?